On Saturday, Governor Elect Abigail Spanberger will be sworn in as the 75th governor of Virginia. And while she joins decades of history, she's also making history as the first woman to hold that office. But she isn't the first to break barriers in Virginia's executive mansion. In 1989, Virginia elected the first black governor in the Commonwealth and the nation. Doug Wilder was sworn in as Virginia's 66th governor 36 years ago, and as the Commonwealth prepares to swear in its first woman governor, Wilder is also marking a personal milestone, his 95th birthday. Former Governor Doug Wilder joining me now from the Wilder School in Richmond. Governor, thank you for being with us, and a happy early birthday to you.
Good to be with you, and glad to hear those greetings for the birthday. I'd like to have another one.
Yeah, well, let's make that the plan. Governor, let me begin by asking you, what was your reaction when you heard that Abigail Spanberger would become Virginia's next governor?
Well, I shouldn't be too presumptuous, but as you know, we do polling at our school, the Wilder School here, and our polls never showed that she was in any trouble. And the shock would have been if she had not won the contest she had, to the extent that she ran such a great campaign and she had more to offer than her opponent. So I think most Virginians expected that. And I think the fact that we made history with her being elected, Virginians are accustomed to that as well, because when I was sworn in, it was a we thing, not a me thing. And I think as she has campaigned and as she has shown, she's running to be a very competent governor, not a woman governor. And I think that it's the fact that she overcame those people's objections to the extent that her sex would be determined, well, or considered even. She showed that it didn't.
In that respect, then, do you see this as a real moment of progress, or do you just see this as a reflection of the particular election cycle that we were in?
I think it's a continuation of the progress that Virginia has made. My being elected governor was the start of it in terms of a recognition of Virginia's role in the nation. I used to consider our state a blue state. It was considered a red state. I think it's a purple state. In other words, you can't define it by what I would call party, race, any other definition. It's the candidate that gets out there that has the mostest, fastest with the mostest for the people. So I think Virginia is a people state. If you got it, if you can cut it, they are going to listen to you. And I don't think there was any question ever as to whether she would be successful. Once the candidacies had been determined, and once that campaign started, the only question I had in my mind was how big would be the victory? And it was huge as far as I'm concerned.
So you see it obviously as more about the person than the party, but at the Wilder School at Virginia Commonwealth University, you do, as you reference, put out your own polls throughout the year for things like a governor's race. Were you surprised by anything that you did see, what voters told you at exit polls?
Well, what I was surprised in terms of what was shown is that there was a ticket sweep. All three races, the Democrats won. But Virginia has been showing that for some time. I have had arguments with my friends in Massachusetts as to who was first. And I've always said, we came here first in Jamestown. And they like to think a little bit differently in Massachusetts. On the other hand, I think people have said sometimes that you reach across the aisle. I don't reach across the aisle in terms of Democrat, Republican. I don't recognize an aisle. I don't recognize race. I look at people who they are, what they are, and how they determine themselves to be. And what you show to the people, and that's what Virginians are. Virginia is a bellwether state. If you look at what we produce, how we do it, and when we do it, look, she's succeeding a Republican governor. So it means, and there was a Republican sweep that won last time. So this time it's a Democratic sweep. So how can you say Virginia is a one-party state? No, it's a people's state. Abigail Spanberger and I, we chatted about it before. She recognized that, didn't take anybody for granted, and she traveled the state and went to the places and appealed to the people, notwithstanding whether it was supposed to be Republican areas, Democratic areas, the people lived everywhere.
Yeah, retail politics still matter, that's for sure, and Virginia is a place that can be profiled. When we talk about tomorrow's inauguration, what are you listening for specifically in Spanberger's address that you think might actually have an impact?
That she is going to immediately understand that the matter of education has to be addressed and dealt with, not talked about. And I'm not just talking about money in terms of allocations. I want to look at the waste, and I can help her in that regard, determining how money, some places are being wasted. And we don't have that largesse to be able to say we can waste money. And she's going to do that. She's also going to make certain that that diversity that she brings to the ticket is spread throughout the Virginia government as we see it now. But more importantly, she's going to be looking for inclusiveness and to make certain that she's not a Democratic governor. She's a governor of the people. And I know that the people are so pleased to see Virginia still taking leadership roles, still being ahead. A state that once practiced discrimination to the extent incomparable, now is recognized and known as a state that recognizes the rights and privileges for all of America's people.
Have you spoken with the governor-elect since she won office? Have you offered her any advice going into her term?
No, we're going to meet tomorrow, and we'll be chatting tomorrow. Well, I'm sorry, inauguration, I'll be seeing her before then to be talking. I've not talked with her since she's been elected, and I plan to talk with her before she's sworn in, and we'll work that out.
Let me ask you a question. Oh, yes, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, let me ask you a question about you for a quick second here, because we're lucky to have some time with you. You were a mayor in Richmond, you were a lieutenant governor, then governor. What's been your greatest lesson since leaving public office?
Never leave the people. Never stop listening to the people. See, people feel the brunt of whatever is done in Washington, whatever is done in Richmond, in terms of the Capitol. That's where the rubber hits the road. They feel left out. They feel in left field sometimes in terms of being included. And so one of the things that I want to see her do, and will obviously be willing to be a part of helping in that regard, not that I want to do anything myself, but I'm still involved. I still lecture here at our schools. I still lecture, I don't teach a class myself, but what I hear on so many occasions when I go into these classes to speak, the students are saying to me, why haven't we heard this before? And so that's what I want us to do. Take nothing for granted. Make it a continuous thing in terms of who we are as a nation, what we can be as a nation, and let no one tell us we can't be the best that there is.
Yeah, well, Governor as I have you here, one last question. I'd be remiss if I did not ask you, how do you plan to celebrate your 95th birthday here?
Well, we're having what we call brush strokes. That we're going to be having some bit of an auction of some of the pieces of art that I've been fortunate enough to sketch and paint during my time, most of it being watercolor. And then we'll have a family dinner, of course. My son and two daughters and grandchildren, two grandsons, will be there. It'll be quiet but tumultuous to the extent of the preparation that people have put forth to make this fundraising event, because we're going to have this thing as a fundraiser, particularly for historical black colleges and universities, to benefit from what I was able to do by being able to go to Virginia Union University, which wasn't supported by the state. And that's why proceeds will be directed to help those who most of the times are not able to attend college. So I'll be celebrating.
Well, it sounds like a wonderful way to celebrate. Yeah.
Well, I love it. I tell you, I went to a thing this morning for the Martin Luther King piece, and I can tell you that the people are so pleased to see the results. And they're so pleased to see, and the lady said to me this morning, said, "You're going to be 95?" She said, "Don't you mean 59?" I said, "Don't stop talking." Keep on telling me that. But no, I'm so happy and so pleased to have had the opportunity to serve the people of Virginia, and so pleased that they have expressed their gratitude for that. It means more to me than you could have known.
Well, and we are grateful for your time today. The insights are always helpful as we kind of navigate new political waters every few years. Governor Wilder, happy early birthday. Thank you so much for your time tonight. And of course, 7 News is on your side with continuing coverage of Virginia's 75th gubernatorial inauguration. That ceremony takes place at noon on Saturday, and you can watch it all live on WJLA.com.